Hey you guys, I'm Stacy and this is Gorgeously Aging. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are brand new, a special welcome. And if you've been with me for a while, I'm sending you all virtual hugs. I'm so thankful that you're spending a little bit of your day with me. You guys, today I have a super fun video. I have a whole bunch of e.l.f. products here to try on my mature skin. For those of you brand new, I'm 51 and I have some new e.l.f. products. I'm particularly excited about this brand new e.l.f. skin. This is the Whoa Glow. And this is very similar to the Supergoop Glow Screen. I actually just got my daughter Abby the Glow Screen for Christmas. It was on her list. And there are a few differences. Some of the key ingredients are the same. It functions very similarly. The Whoa Glow is SPF 30 and the Supergoop Glow Screen is SPF 40. But they are very similar. So I'm going to use this as my base today. I do have some other sunscreen on that I put on this morning when I did my skincare routine, but I do want to test this out for you guys. I've only been able to use it one time, so I will give you my honest feedback. We're going to do a weird test with this today, so I'm going to be using a bunch of stuff. Some of it's been in the e.l.f. collection for a while, some of it's brand new to e.l.f., and we're going to see how this looks so we can get a high-end look on a budget with e.l.f. I'm a strong believer that when you are on a budget, it's better to invest the money in good skincare and do more budget-friendly makeup items. And e.l.f. and many of the drugstore brands have come such a long way. You can get a really high-end look on a budget. So I'm going to put some of this Whoa Glow on the back of my hand. That may have been a little bit too much, we'll see. And I'm using a bunch of the brushes from this collection. Now, this was not sent to me. This is not a sponsored video. Everything I'm going to show you guys is stuff that I purchased myself. So I will always give you 100% honest feedback regardless. So I'm going to use the Buffing Foundation brush. And I'm just going to go into this Whoa Glow and pat it out on my hand. So this will give hydration, glow, and SPF 30 to the skin. I like to use a liberal amount because I like to make sure that that SPF is effective. My skin needs the hydration. I am fairly dry. I'm just getting over a cold, so my nose is a little bit red. So I've been really excited because it's been a while since I've really experimented with e.l.f. Years ago I did a video on it, but their products have come a long way. And there are a few products in this e.l.f. collection that I have here that are very good dupes for other products, and I will mention that as we do the makeup here. So this gives a really nice, fresh, dewy finish as a base for the makeup. Now I do want to take a little bit of the Poreless Putty Primer, and this is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer brush, and just a little bit goes a long way. And I just want to get the areas, I'm going to kind of stipple here, that I have a little bit more enlarged pores, so basically the T-zone. It does have a little scoop on this end. I just tend to dip my brush right directly into the product. Now I'm going to use on one side of my face the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, and then on the other side the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I like both of these for different reasons, but I'm telling you, this e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation, I had it years ago and I don't know if it's changed, but it reminds me a lot of the Dior Forever Matte. And that is like my favorite foundation right now. I wouldn't say it's an exact dupe, but it's very close. This is actually a really beautiful foundation. The secret is not putting too much on and also having a good skin prep so your skin is nice and hydrated before you move to foundation. So I will list all of the colors I'm using down in the description box below because I'm going to have to get my readers on so I can see the colors. But I will list them down below for you guys. So if you are similar in shade, you know what I'm using. I'm going to go back to that foundation buffing. And on the left side of my face, I'm going to go ahead and use this product. This is a really nice match for me, which is often very hard. So I find on aging skin, it is best to use less. Less is more. I'm going to bring this down my neck, and sometimes I'll even put some on my chest just to make sure everything's well blended and conceal any hyperpigmentation. Now I will do a wear test so that you guys can see how both of these products fare on each side of the face and the rest of the look as well. Now on this side here, we're going to use the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. And on this side of the face, we have the CC Cream. And both of these products I've been really liking. The CC cream does have that added SPF, so that's nice. Now I'm going to take this is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge, one of my favorites for the face and the under eyes for concealer, but I just want to make sure to get a really smooth finish. So this is damp. I like to dampen it underwater, squeeze it out thoroughly, and then squeeze it in a washcloth so it's just ever so slightly damp. So this side is the Flawless Satin Foundation, and this side is the Camo CC Cream. Now I'm going to use the Camo Concealer. This is the hydrating formula, which I prefer for my dry under eyes. And I'm going to take a fair bit off of it because this is a very big doe foot applicator. This is the shade, I believe, Light Peach, but again, I'll list everything. And I'm just going to put a dot here and here. And I do have the medium peach as well. I kind of go back and forth between the light peach and the medium peach. But I do like to brighten up my under eyes, so I do have both shades. I'm going to use the Flawless Concealer brush. And just get into the corner here where I tend to have some darkness. And these are really actually quite soft brushes. e.l.f. makes some decent brushes for the price, but one thing I'll say is they don't stand up to a ton of washing. But this is one of my favorite drugstore concealers for mature skin. Now I'm going to use the Putty Bronzer, and this is a cream bronzer, and I just love this. I feel like it performs just as nicely as many high-end cream bronzers. And I'm going to go right in with the same brush that I used for the foundation. And I'm just going to stipple that. I feel like this blends like a dream, like better than many of my high-end cream bronzers. It's maybe not quite as pigmented, but I think it's beautiful. And the price point is, you can't beat it really. It may not have quite the longevity as some of the more expensive cream bronzers I have, but it really isn't bad. And I'm going to go along the jawline. Just the perimeter of the face here, just to give that a little contour. Now I like to take my finger, just the middle finger here, with a little bit of that bronzer, and just go up and down my nose for a tiny bit of a nose contour. And then just take that foundation brush and buff that out. I'm going to take the Putty Blush. This is a beautiful pink rosy color. And same brush. And just hit the high points of my cheeks. I like to keep it up high because if you raise your cheeks up and put it on the apples, it tends to fall. So I do like to keep my blush up a little high. And this is nice layered, so you can put on a sheer wash and then go over it if you want to layer a little more of that blush on there. I'm going to use the Precision HD powder. I've been really liking this powder. It seems like it really melts into the skin nicely. The white does not show up white, it shows up transparent, but it really gives me a flawless-like finish. I'm going to use that concealer brush and just get a little bit underneath my eyes. You don't need a lot, and actually that concealer sets down pretty nicely if you're not one to use powder. I know aging skin sometimes doesn't fare well with powder, so try using a little bit, or try actually letting it set by itself, and then if you need a tiniest bit of powder, sometimes that can make all the difference. And getting the no crease appearance. I know for me it does. I typically like a really glowy or dewy finish on my makeup. Not super glowy, but skin-like and hydrated, but I have been really liking this powder. And then I like to take the Camo Concealer Sponge and just press it in. Now I'm going to get some of the areas my makeup breaks up, like around my nose. And then I'm going to take this powder brush and just get some of the spots I want to just make sure to set. And nice thing about this transparent HD powder is that it doesn't cover up the other makeup. It doesn't have pigmentation to it. So you still see everything through there. And then again, I like to take the Camo Concealer Sponge and just make sure that that powder is really worked into the skin so it does not look powdery or cakey. This helps to give the most airbrush-like finish. Of course, powder is completely optional, and that really depends on your skin and your preferences. I'm going to use this blush set. This is so cute. I love the sizes of these, and just to top off that cream blush, for me, the blush is one of the first things that tends to disappear throughout the day. So I'm going to take, this is actually a highlight brush from that e.l.f. Ultimate Collection brush set. This also comes with a carrying case or a roll to put the brushes in. I just keep them in a cup on my desk, but if you like to store them in a roll, it does come with that. I'm going to use the same brush and just go into this highlight here. And I'm going to get the tops of my cheeks here. And I'm going to use my finger to get my nose, the bridge of my nose. And I like to get my Cupid's bow as well. All right, I'm feeling like I need to pay attention to my brows. So this is a really great dupe for the Westman Atelier brow. This one is the Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and I will list the color down below. But this is nice and creamy going on, and once it dries down, it stays on really well. It seems very water resistant, and a rub test that I did showed that this actually withstands a lot of rubbing, and it's only like $6, so very affordable. I'm just going to do the one brow, and I'll do the second one off camera. You just need a light hand with this. You don't want to press too hard. I'm going to go ahead and brush that up. I like to do my brows recently before my eyeshadow, just to kind of have that framework, but whatever is your preference is totally fine. I'm going to use the Wow Brow Tinted Brow Gel and just lift up those little baby brow hairs that I have here. And I'm going to do this other brow, and I'll be right back. A couple other e.l.f. products that are really wonderful that I have had these for a while, they're really, really good products for the price point, is both the Primer Infused Bronzer and the Primer Infused Blush. These are super nice products, long lasting. You know, I just got this one, so I wanted to try this blush with the highlight. I'm going to use a little bit of the sheer eyeshadow primer. And I'm going to blend that in with the concealer brush. And then I'm going to use these e.l.f. eyeshadow tapes. And I really like these to create a nice defined upward lift with the eyeshadow. And I like to leave a little gap between the upper lid and down below here to connect this eyeshadow with the bottom. And if you prefer to do your eyeshadow first, because I will have to kind of buff where that tape was, but I always like to do my complexion first, or at least it's a habit. I should get out of that habit. This is the Need It Nude palette. I think this is so versatile and has so many nice colors to choose from. I know it looks a little on the boring side, but I always find that I can get a really pretty look with this. I'm going to use the Fluffy Eye Blender. I'm going to go in with this light color here and just create a base. Now I will say that these shadows, the e.l.f. shadows, do have a bit more fallout. But there is a palette that I just got, and maybe I'll try it in another video, is the Velvet Touch. These are almost a bit more creamy. There's some beautiful colors in this one too. I may reach into this one before we're all done. But I just want to show you this Need It Nude palette because it is simple, but you can create some nice day and then, you know, deepen it up for an evening look as well. Then we're going to move to this little deeper matte color. Nice toasty light brown. And just go to the upper crease here, just above the natural crease, and just buff that in, creating a little bit of contour. If you like cream shadows, and I really do, but I just wanted to play with this particular palette, e.l.f. also has these No Budge cream shadows, and they really do, once they set, they don't budge. They are super nice. So I'm just going to go back and forth and then just little swirls here to blend this in and create a little bit of a contour on the eye. And if you have a hooded lid, just go right above the hooded part, back and forth, leaving just a little bit of skin peeking through up by the brow. And then I'm going to go into this really deep color here on the end and move down to a flatter blending brush. quite as fluffy. And deepen it up a little bit more, coming into the eyelid a bit. So I would say the complexion products by e.l.f. have really improved. I'm not like wowed or blown away by the eyeshadows, at least not this palette. I really do like it, but I have a lot of higher end palettes I like better, and actually I think Milani has a better formula on their powder eyeshadows. I will say the cream e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadows are very nice. I'm going to take this shimmery pink right here. It's kind of a muted pink. That's what it looks like there. It almost looks more champagne on the finger. And I'm going to just get that in the center of the eyelid. We're going to go over that with some e.l.f. glitter shadow, and actually I really like that product a lot. It really can amp up a look. I'm going to take this brush. This one is the Pointed Eye Pencil. I don't think this is really pointed enough for under the eyes in my opinion, but I'm going to go into this lighter shimmer. It's the second one in, and just give a little bit of brightness to that inner corner. If you prefer mattes, that one's actually really nice for brightening up inner corners. All right, I'm going to pull this tape off, and then we'll do some work on the lower lash line in a minute here. But I want to get some of these glitter products on. So I got this whole collection here, but I'm going to focus on these 3 colors. And today I'm going to use this one here. It has just a little bit of beautiful glitter. Just a nice sheen. It's not tacky or overly glittery. I'm going to use a flat brush, and I'm going to go just right from the applicator and just pop some of that on the center. Now some of these are more of a foil, like that one would be super pretty too. All right, I'm going to take this brush. This one is called the Flat Eyeshadow, and I'm going to use the edge of it for underneath my lower lash line. And I'm going to start out by taking the lighter of the brown, and then we're going to jump over to the darker. I won't say this is the most pigmented palette ever. It's nice, but you know, it's not outstanding. And if you don't like that sharp line, I do need to blend that a bit. You know, it's really a personal preference, but I tend not to like it quite so sharp. And we're just tying in that top shadow with the bottom waterline. Now we're going to move on to the e.l.f. liquid liner. I actually really like this. It stays on so well. I only use this on my upper lash line, and it has a really nice flexible tip brush. If you're not comfortable with liquid liners, there is a felt tip liner that's very nice as well. So I am just going to take a lot of that product off. I do like to kind of hold my eye. I do have lashes on, full disclosure. And just bring that out. And then I like to go into the corner and just draw upward for just a little baby wing. Once this dries down a bit, I'm going to use the No Budge retractable eyeliner in black for my tight lining on the upper lash line. This really does stay and doesn't transfer to the lower waterline. So this is actually right up there with a couple of my high-end pens. For me, it's just as good as the Killer Liner by Too Faced as far as how well it performs, stays on, and doesn't transfer. So I'm going to take the end of a brush here and just do a little tight lining. I'm going to take the lash and roll, and I love the wand on this because when I wear my lashes natural, I need a very precise wand, not really too big and fluffy because my natural lashes are very short. But I'm going to hit these falsies. It makes them look a little more natural and knocks any of the powder or eyeshadow off the edges or off the lashes, I should say. I'm going to take the same No Budge eyeliner and apply it to the back of my hand to warm it up. A fairly good amount. I'm going to take the small precision brush and just go into this eyeliner and then just get the outer corner of the bottom lash line just a little bit here. I'm kind of lash deficient right over here, so I'm just going to deepen that up just a little bit. And then I like to take a Q-tip and just run it down here just to make sure there's no fallout. For lips, I have the Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. This color, I'll list it down below, is a really nice Your Lips But Better color. I think it can be dressed up or worn natural for every day. And I'm going to go over this because my lips are dry right now with the Hydrating Core Lip Shine. And it's this one here. This does really feel nice on the lips. I did get some of the new lipsticks, you guys, and the packaging is surprisingly wonderful. It actually has like a magnetic closure, nice weighted package. And I was going to use this color, which I think is so beautiful. I got a couple other colors too, but my lips are so dry and I just wanted to have the nourishing, hydrating balm. Here are the other colors I got. I think they're all really pretty. So there's that one. I'll list these down below, you guys. I can't read the package without, I think this one says Dirty Talk. This one right here. Let's see if I can see the other one. It is, if I pull it back far enough, it says No Doubt is this like nude color. And then this one I'm just about to show you is Standing Ovation. And that's this one right here. All very pretty. I'm excited to use those when my lips aren't quite so dry. So here's the finished look. You guys, as far as the foundation goes, I think I'm liking the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Finish side. What I do like about the CC cream, the Camo CC cream, is the extra SPF. They're very similar as far as how they're looking right now. But I have to say, for a drugstore look for e.l.f. products, which are very inexpensive, I really think this doesn't scream drugstore makeup. I think this look looks very put together, very high end. And sometimes you're not always getting better products for what you're paying. You certainly can find some fantastic products from e.l.f., Milani, L'Oreal. Really, all of the drugstore brands are upping their game. I have my personal favorites. I really like e.l.f. I really like Milani. I really like L'Oreal. And I'll be sharing some dupes here soon for very high-end products that you can find at the drugstore. One thing I haven't tried is this Daily Dew Stick. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on the high points of my face here with my finger, just to give a healthy glow. Let's see how that looks. I haven't really tried it. Oh, that's kind of pretty. And you can probably use this with or without makeup if you like to wear your skin natural, but you want a little bit of shine at the high points of your cheeks. This would be pretty as well. So I will come back in about 4 hours and just do a wear test and show you guys what it looks like after I've worn it for a while. Okay, so it's been just short of 4 hours since I did my makeup using all e.l.f. and I think it really held up super well. I have touched up my lips because they're dry and that lip balm is so nice and hydrating. So I have been touching that up, but nothing else has been touched up. I can see that the foundation is kind of disappearing around my nose, but I have blown my nose a few times today. I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold. So I guess considering that I've been blowing my nose, that's not so bad. I think otherwise it's holding up really well. The Camo Concealer under the eyes, I think for 51-year-old skin does really quite well for a drugstore concealer. I use the hydrating version and just a little bit. So it's important, I think, with any concealer for mature skin to use a tiny bit. A little goes a long way. When we overuse concealer under the eyes, it tends to lead to creasing and that cakey look. that concealer will dry down nicely without being set with a powder. I did set it a little bit with powder, and I do think that that helps with the longevity of it. But overall, I think the complexion looks great. The hard thing that I'm having trouble with here is I can't decide which foundation I like better. So on this side, we have the Flawless Satin Foundation, and this one is the Camo CC Cream. And I can't really tell which one I like better. If I look at them super closely, yeah, even pore size, I can't really discern a big difference between the two. I think the Camo concealer or the Camo CC cream side maybe feels a little more hydrated. So for that reason, I would maybe lean towards the Camo CC cream. And it also has the additional SPF, where the satin finish one does not have additional sun protection. But they're both really pretty, and I still think this one is very similar to the Dior Forever Matte, which is an incredible foundation. It's not quite as loose in terms of the thickness of this one is a little thicker, and the Dior Forever Matte's a little thinner. I should do a direct comparison on those two sometime in a video side by side, but they're very similar in terms of how they wear and how they look on the skin, the pore minimizing. In fact, I think both of these e.l.f. products, when you apply them to nicely hydrated skin, and I did use a little bit of the putty primer, so that helps with the pore blurring as well. But I think these are both really good options for drugstore. And I'm so glad I did this, because years ago I tried this and I think I just used too much and didn't like it. You only need like one pump for the whole face. Same thing with this one. Really, a little bit goes a long way on the mature face. Blending it out nicely and then melding it into the skin using a damp sponge. That really helps for a nice, flawless airbrush-like finish. As far as this eyeshadow palette, I do think it's pretty. It does have a bit of fallout. It isn't as pigmented as some of my higher end eyeshadows. I think Milani actually offers a better eyeshadow palette. I do think the eye look is very pretty and wearable. And these eyeshadow tapes are super fun, and I really like how it gives a nice lifted look. And of course, these glitters, I actually really like these. I do think these compare to some of the high-end glitter shadows. A couple things that I think are wonderful by e.l.f. besides the complexion products: the putty bronzer, the putty blush, fantastic. I really love the No Budge eyeliner. Stays in the waterline, it's super nice. For me, I like the liquid eyeliner that I used above the lashes. I know that's not everybody's favorite thing, but I like it a lot, and it stays on. It's so pigmented. And then, of course, the brow pencil, almost identical to the Westman Atelier pencil. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love you to join the Gorgeously Aging community by subscribing to my channel. You can also learn more about advanced facial rejuvenation and anti-aging over at Gorgeously Aging Advanced. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me and spending a piece of your day with me. I will see you in my next video.